Should we start, Alia?
Yes, sure. So, hi everyone. Welcome to our weekly webinar session. I would like to ask you, please stay muted unless you have any questions, or if you have any questions, you can chat them in the box. So, welcome everyone. So, let me firstly give the floor to Professor Miriam. If Professor Miriam, would you like to say something as an opening?
Yeah, certainly. Welcome, everybody. It is very nice to see everyone and a very happy day because today I've been able to speak to Gitu and Samson and Dr. Raya. So this is really great news. They are in good shape and good form. They are even going to try and join us. I've updated them on all of the work. They're working as we speak on the finalization of the bulk input in CEDAR. And so they were very happy that after 3 months of without internet, that they could finally connect again, and they sent the greetings. Hopefully they will be joining us at some point. And then I also had very good news from Wondimu. Wondimu, he has traveled for special assignments to Liberia, and he has made the contact for us with the Ministry of Health and Data Science. And so we have been introduced and exchanged, and we will also follow that up. It will be very good to have Liberia in our program. After all, remember that it all started with the data that had disappeared on Ebola from Liberia. So yeah, that was an excellent action of Wondimu. So I wanted to give those very special updates, Alia.
Thank you, Professor Miriam. Indeed, it's very great news. Great to hear that Getu and Samson are back. So, and I hope that at some point they will join the meeting. Yeah, so I would like to give the floor to Mariam to say some updates on the hospital flow. Mariam, if you could speak to this.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm basically going to do the presentation that I was to do last week, but I wasn't able to do it. So I'll share my screen.
Go ahead, Mariam.
Okay. Okay, so I'll give an introduction. So the overall goal of this study was to explore the data management practices and information systems used at the selected healthcare facilities. Those were hospitals and clinics in Uganda. So, and a particular emphasis was put on documenting the tools that I used and the data collected at every step along the patient's journey from the registration to history and physical examination, lab testing, diagnosis, and the prescription. So the sampling procedure were basically, there were two private health facilities. One is called CEST Medical Center, which is in Kampala district, the central of Uganda, and Kampala International University Teaching Hospital, which is in the western part of Uganda, and one public health facility, which comprised of two sub-clinics, the Lira Referral Regional Hospital, which is in northern Uganda. So these hospitals were selected for participation in this study. And well, the selection was based on a maximum variation sampling approach in order to account for the wide range of data management practices. So according to the information that was obtained from the data management personnel at the selected hospital through focus group discussions and follow-up interviews, it was discovered that the health system, that the information system used consists of both the health management information system, which is established by the Ministry of Health, the DHIS2, and an in-house hospital information system. However, not all the hospitals had an in-house hospital information system, but they were all using the DHIS2. So, but however, these two systems are both, let me say, paper-based and electronic records. And the Ministry of Health managed electronic record system comprises mostly of the DHIS2 software. And the Ministry of Health basically requires each facility to conduct mandatory routine reporting using the standardized HMIS forms, which are within the DHIS2. So DHIS2 is basically an integrated health information system used for data management, analysis purposes, health program monitoring and evaluation, facility registries, service availability mapping, logistics management, and mobile tracking of pregnant mothers in the rural areas. And currently, the DHIS2 is the world's largest management information system platform in use by 72 low and middle income countries of about 2.3 billion people, which is 30% of the world's population. So it is observed, it is also observed that many hospitals in Uganda store the information in form of patient files, which are stored in the shells. And then a few of them, however, have hospital systems whose only purpose is mainly storage and do not do any analytics with this data. So besides that, there are policies and regulations that govern the management of patient data collected by both the public and private health facilities. And these include the mandatory HMIS forms that are to be filled by the different health units to reach to higher administrative levels. That is the health sub-district or the MOH resource center. And then the obligatory reporting, there's obligatory reporting deadlines and required reporting frequency. And then there's specific personnel responsible for each HMIS form. And there are also procedures to be followed while filling these HMIS forms. The different hospitals actually do training for this, for the different personnel. And then the format of the information to be entered in each column as well, the codes and the abbreviations to be used. And then the diagnosis column has to be very clearly written. So this is the Kampala International University Teaching Hospital data flow. Once the patient arrives at the hospital, at the reception, the patient is searched for within the patient database by the name or the date of birth. And if the patient is already a client, then the patient receives his file with the unique ID from the last visit. If not, the patient then receives the Form 5 with a unique ID. And the patient is then sent out to the general outpatient department for the biodata checkup. Within the biodata, they get the name, the date of birth, and there's a term they use, the MUAC, height, blood pressure, and so on and so forth. And then the patient goes ahead to see the clinician for a diagnosis, which is written at the back of the Form 5 that was given to them when on arrival at the hospital. And using this Form 5, the data is then manually entered into the MOH HMIS register book, which is afterwards then entered into the Ministry of Health DHIS2 system by the data management personnel. And after that is when the hospital storage system is updated and the in and out patient files are then stored within the shelves. So, and it's the same flow with the Lira Referral Hospital, except apart from the fact that the Lira Referral Hospital has no hospital system, all their data is mainly paper-based, and they do not have an operating HMIS system for the hospital. So these are some of the forms that I used within the DHIS2 system. The medical Form 5, which is used on a daily basis, the HMIS Form 105, which is the outpatient department monthly reporting tool, and the HMIS 108, which is also a monthly reporting tool. Then the Form 107 is an annual reporting tool as well, then the HMIS Form 033B, which is a surveillance form of the patients notifiable diseases, epidemics, or pandemics like the COVID-19. So the Form 033B is the form that I chose to put the most emphasis on when it came to verifying to the verification process. And then there's the HMIS form 031, which is a daily reporting tool. And there's so many others that I used within, but these are the main reporting tools, used. And it was concluded that these forms are not in machine actionable format. That is, they're not fair, and because also the data is not accessible by the hospitals and the clinics, so they're not able to carry out different analytics with the data. And then there's also a need of a convergence of the properties for the fair-based templates within the VODAN community. So the way forward is to create machine actionable templates with multiple elements using the DHIS2 forms, and then include standardized bioportal values for each attributes, and also be able to carry out data analytics at the clinic or hospital level, and not just at the Ministry of Health level. So this is a snapshot of the Google Doc that I'm working with on standardizing the bioportal values. And these are some of the like the bioportal values that have been assigned to some of the attributes, and the others are yet to be created. Then this is a snapshot of the templates, which comprises of the like the different elements. As you can see, we have a good number of elements right above the template, which is at the bottom here. There's a few more elements at the bottom as well, but yeah, this is the snapshot I got. And then this is a snapshot of the template itself with the different fields. And this is an element that was created and was reused within the template. And this is a snapshot of an element just for you to see what it looks like. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for listening.
Excellent, Mariam. That's very useful. Should you also say something about the production of the Excel sheet in GitHub for the generation of a controlled vocabulary for the VODAN community? Or is that not yet mature? Should we pick that up next week?
No, that is actually not mature at all yet, because we still need to figure out the different levels for the different fields. And yeah, that is not yet.
So maybe what we can say then is that yesterday at the webinar of CEDAR, that we further discussed how we develop a controlled vocabulary for the metadata across all of the templates that are necessary for a seamless information flow process in the clinics. And that we'll get back to that next week. Thanks, Mariam. Are there any questions? I think what's important to take from here is that we really need to identify whether DHIS is the dominant the dominant data production in the hospitals and clinics in all our countries. Maybe you can comment on that in the chat. And we also need to go through a process in which we identify the most useful, most used DHIS2 templates, especially from a perspective of looking at virus outbreaks, which is the first focus of VODAN, because it is not advisable to work in the first instance with all of the DHIS templates. We should select a few and then see the added value of the fair front for DHIS, for the analytics and in-house stewardship of the data. So we need to select the templates that are the most important and relevant for our project. So that's also a task that that needs to be done. Comments in the chat maybe on first of all, is DHIS prominent? And secondly, are there particular templates that should be prioritized over others? Thanks, Gert-Jan. Zimbabwe uses its own instance of DHIS. It has a system as how to get access to it. I'll forward that information to Kuda. Oh, that's very, very important. Please also put more information in the chat on this part. Then Aliyah, we are moving to the next part of the agenda. Thanks, Mariam.
Thank you very much, Mariam. So the next part of the agenda is going to be presented by Getu and Samson on the FDP. So yeah, so Getu or Samson, can you update us on FTP?
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Getu. So good
nice to see you again. Yeah, the last time we met was, I think, November 3rd. It's been almost 3 months since we see each other. So maybe I will give you some highlight on what I have said that, in the last webinar, and Samson will give you the technical aspects. So last time what we did was we tried to hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
last time we tried to develop a script which enable us to upload bulk data to CEDAR. So Samson has developed a PHP script, simple script to demonstrate simple bulk upload to CEDAR. So maybe the script might be simple, or it's not that sophisticated, but we try to see the specifications and the code in the CEDAR and the RDF generated by any form templates in CEDAR, and using that form we were able to upload some bulk data. So maybe Samson will give the detail about the code and the possibilities that we can do with bulk data. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Getu.
Hi everyone, this is Samson. Can you hear me? First of all, thank you for welcoming us back. And I'll try to quickly update you on what has been done. Honestly speaking, I wasn't prepared for a presentation or anything for today. We arrived yesterday. we got connection and we're trying to get back to working mode. And I would have loved to do, or I would like to do some presentation some other day. But what is done so far is we have written a script, and the script helps import bulk data to CEDAR, and we've tried it and it works. What we're working on now is we're trying to create some flexibility so that it can be used with many templates. What we tried it with is with COVID data that we are working on, that we specifically G2 was more involved in collecting the data, and we tried that. I think it would be better if I get prepared, and I don't know if you give me time, I prepare some formal slides and what's done and how it's done and what it actually does. For now, I just came as a participant, or I at least I will need some few minutes to set up, or I will present some other day.
Yes, what is the best, Aliyah? I mean, we really don't want to put you on the spot. We're just happy to hear you and to hear your voices, and we are curious about what you have done. So really no stress. We know you only arrived yesterday. I think we can do this next week, Samson, so that you can find your bearings. And there's no hurry. We know it's coming, and that's a really very good thing. So shall we decide to do that next week then?
I think so. This is better.
Yes, Prof. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Thank you both. And just so exciting to have you back. And we still have plenty of things to discuss. So we'll put this on the agenda for next week. Then back over to you, Aliyah. And thanks again, Gitu and Samson.
Thank you very much, Geto, and thank you very much, Samson, for your
Thank you.
for your updates. So we will be glad to see the any works related to FTP that you that have done on the next week. So yeah, thank you very much. So the next one is going to be the updates on the CEDAR. So let me share my screen. So yesterday we had our weekly CEDAR meeting. So the main things that we discussed yesterday. So as you can see from the screen, so the query possibilities with the CEDAR localized process. So you see that we have queries between hospitals, like exchanging with each other, and then also we have query possibilities across countries. So this is the very generic view of query possibilities, and then we also this is the CEDAR localization process. As you see, we have the DHIS templates, which is also standardized in VODAN Africa countries. So, and also we will be developing VODAN controlled vocabularies and where we put our terms and ontologies, and then we will have we will develop localized CEDAR templates where all these medical forms can be so where all medical forms will be developed, and also data and metadata will be created from that. And from all of it, we get the machine readable data and metadata, which is the main goal of this project. So create machine actionable data so that we can do analytics at the level of hospitals, clinics, So not only at the level of at the national level. So analytics will be accessible by every participating hospital or clinics in this project. Yeah. So this is the very initial selection of the DHIS templates for the CEDAR localization project. As you see, so there are 4 of them. So outpatient department, inpatient register, outpatient register, and the last one is the weekly epidemiological surveillance report. So this is what we discussed yesterday, and that this is the very initial selection, as I mentioned. But as Professor Miriam mentioned it, we need to choose the forms that are more or less related to virus outbreaks. So this is something we need to investigate. Yeah. So some summaries from yesterday meeting. Yesterday we learned how to create different versions of templates on the platform. So updating and versioning. So that was the main focus of yesterday's meeting. And the next session will be focused on mostly on creation of vocabularies. So what VODAN controlled vocabularies, how to create them, which kind of tools to use can be used for creation of new ontologies. So yeah, that is basically it from my side as an update. And also I would like to remind everyone in a CEDAR project team who is in the technical team. So please share your assignments with the VODAN Africa assignment group in the CEDAR, so we can make sure that everyone is still following the sessions and understand everything properly. Thank you very much for your attention. So if anyone has any question related to the updates on the CEDAR?
I have just put in the chat the link to the video that basically really identifies where we are in the creation of these metadata for the DHIS templates, which then of course need to be the same for across those templates and for all of us in VODAN Africa and Asia. So the video is now in the chat, and yeah, I think it's very useful. Alia, that was brilliant. Thanks.
Thank you, Miriam. Yeah, this is so the video is something interesting to watch. I'll probably I'll definitely recommend you to see how it works. So regarding the next update, so Putu, if you can have the floor, so and update us on the progress of data access and control, so we can also follow that as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Alia. I will share my screen, but it will be a short update about the access control and security. So yesterday we had a discussion with the data security and control team. So basically we want to answer the question that proposed by the previous week slide. The first question is about what are the detailed activities of each user. So I just want to quickly answer this. So we are discussing about the type of user in FDV and CEDAR architecture, and how's the activity of each user in the architecture. So we are discussing that. And the second question is about who will have access to the system and how's their perspective about security of data. So I heard several explanation about this from Kuda and also from Mariam. And the third question is how secure is the architecture right now? And we discussed about FDV and CEDAR architecture and how secure is the the current architecture, but then we realized that the user that can query this system right now use anonymous user. So it is we should highlight this part, because right now it's like there is no control in that, so it is really dangerous. For maybe we can improve this part in the future. Then the last question is, how's the data protection regulation on each country? I'm still waiting for Eric Flickenstein questionnaire for risk assessment, but Alia provide several links about the security of about the data protection regulation comparison. So I will check one by one, especially from the African countries. So I will do a comparison after this, and I will make a notes about the answer of these 4 questions, and also perhaps will be present a slide about this after discussing with Eric Flickenstein next week, because in the bi-weekly meeting with LUMC. And yeah, that's all. Alia, back to you.
Thank you very much, Putu. Thank you for the updates. Yeah, that was great. Thank you very much. So moving to the next part, I would like to give the floor to Misha to update us on a special issue. So Misha, the floor is yours.
Hello.
Hi, Misha.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. By updates, I presume you mean which articles have been, the state of each article.
So the state of articles and the just general updates, so we can also follow. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Can everyone?
Yeah, we can see the screen.
Misha,
Yes. I'm trying
you
to
can
share.
present the slides. Yes.
I'm trying to share my screen, but I'm not sure what you guys can see.
So we see the iTunes application, right? So now see articles online.
Okay. Yeah, this is it.
Okay, fantastic. So so I have about 1, 2, 3, 4 different 4 different sections. First of all, you have the articles that are online and that are basically ready to be sent off to an editor for editing. And more specifically, those are 2, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 17, 19, 24, 30, and 33. So those have all been uploaded and should be ready to be sent probably somewhere later this week to the editor. The last thing we are going to do with them is Professor Miriam is going to look at them and give the final approval before we send them. So these are all in order. Then the second group is final drafts that are or will be uploaded later this week. And these articles are nearly finished and require just a small changes, and those are, as you can see, 3, 21, 26, 31, and 32. And most of these will be finished by the end of this week, and will also then be reviewed by Professor Miriam before being sent off. And then the third category is articles that are in progress. These articles are being finished, but no clear date has been yet given or provided as to when they will actually be finished. So it is expected that by the end of January, hopefully, they'll be there. But it's not entirely clear. However, a clear progress is being made in these articles, and they should be we should be able to send them off. And then the last category is where the progress on these articles is unclear, and we are not sure if these articles are being worked on at all, or we have seen very little progress. So this category consists of Article 4, 20, 22, 23, 28, 5, 13, 14, 15, and 18. And you can see all the names of the articles and the authors working on them. So with regards to these, I will contact them one last time later today or tomorrow morning to check whether these articles are still indeed being worked on or whether they will be abandoned. So if you see your name or your article in here and are actively working on it, send me an email and then I'll change the status. And that's all with regards to these articles. Lastly, in the coming weeks, as I mentioned already, we are starting to send the articles that are ready for to be sent off to an editor, and that will be taking place hopefully by the end of the week, next week. I will send a last email, as I said again, to those that have yet to confirm the status of the article, just to make sure that we don't leave anyone out. And that's it for my part. So thank you very much. Yes?
Misha. Hello, Misha.
Hello?
Yes, so I've not seen Article 14. Where is that reflected?
Oh, so it's a progress. So I will change that to, I will add it to the, how far is it? Are you?
Yes, so we have a first draft now, and
okay.
Yeah, I think end of the week should be completely ready.
Okay, fantastic. I will change that. Thank you very much. Anything else? No.
No, not from me.
So maybe then just to add, and thank you, Misha, that's a good and useful overview. If you are still working on articles that you want to go with this special issue, then just really communicate, please, with Misha. You can always put me in copy. Dr. Sakinat is keeping the overall coordination of everything, and Alia is still following up on a few things. So this team is still intact, but the main stream of information from you, the authors, to Susan, and then back, that whole process will be managed by Misha. And so for us to plan the... Sorry, I've got an echo in here. For us to plan the final issue, and also to discuss that properly with Feng Hong, we need to know if you are still intending to finish an article. For instance, Geto and Samson, who have only just joined back. For sure, there is time because Susan also cannot edit everything at once. So there's no need for anyone to panic. But if you can correspond with Misha to give clarity on the status of your article and your intention, then really that will help us a lot. And yeah, Aliyah, I think you will be continuing to correspond with Feng Hong as you always do, right? On the special issue.
Okay.
Sure.
And then maybe I can ask Lien if he can give an update on the article that he is working on in the implementation of FAIR in different non-English languages, because that paper is going to be very interesting. Feng Hong promised me to send the Chinese language articles, but it could still be good for that article if we could look at some other languages, for instance, Swahili. I mean, some languages where we actually might find something in relation to FAIR implementation. So, Lien, maybe you want to update on that?
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much, Professor Miriam. About my article 34, the current stage is I'm refining it regarding the literature search strategy based on your kind of feedback. And yeah, if Dr. Feng Hong could provide us with more like literature written in Chinese, that would be really nice. I would probably work on that part and edit it to the current version. About other literature written in other languages, I think it would be also good if other colleagues who can speak those languages, for instance, like German or French, I don't know, could participate in this article and do some contribution. That would be really highly appreciated. Otherwise, I think most European, literature or publication, papers publicated in European countries are all written in English. So it's pretty hard to find those articles written in other languages. Yes, that's all my feedback.
So, is there any is there anyone who could volunteer, who could offer to look at literature review in other languages that are available to you, at least to see what the number of articles is before we even go towards analysis? No, nobody? I don't know. Maybe I have to ask specific people for that follow-up then.
Professor, perhaps the question didn't come out clearly. Just again, repeat, please.
Well, what we would like for that article of Lien. Lien is looking at the publications on the FAIR implementation in languages other than English. So he has looked at the language of Japanese, where he found some very interesting articles, Chinese. Aliyah did it in Kazakhstan and also in Russian. And also, I think Putu did it. So we are Lynn could send you the method how to do the search, but it would be very good if, for instance, we could look at articles on fair implementation in, for instance, Swahili, in other languages than English, but also in I mean African languages, also European languages, such as French, German. They would be very obvious. Dutch. In order to get a better understanding of how this article is available in non-English speaking languages. Arabic would be excellent. So the question is, are there people who speak those languages and who could do an initial search to see how many papers or articles come up?
Yeah, I'm willing to check on Swahili.
Great.
Yeah.
That is excellent. So Swahili. So any volunteer for Dutch? Let me take Dutch. And any Arabic here? Maybe we can ask the team of Université de Sousse to do Arabic, or is there Arabic here in the team, Francesca? Okay, I think we're going to leave it at this now because it's going to take too long. The IBL team could maybe help for Arabic. IBL team, any possibility at your side? I think we're going to have to follow this up individually. Then I'm going to give hand over to Alia again.
So Professor Miriam, so I think we reached the end of the session. So can I close the session?
Definitely. I think very good preparation, very good progress, and congratulations to everybody. Again, the next meeting will be the CEDAR meeting on Monday at what time, Alia?
4:30 p.m. SAT time.
So you'll be sending around the invitation. Then also maybe to announce that we are in the process of setting up the preparatory meetings in Ethiopia for the implementation phase, and in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, the coordinator was ill last week, so we were waiting for him to come back and for that to be ready. Oh, and Ibel Tum Adamu, we can do for Arabic. That is fantastic. Thank you so much. Great, I've written that down. So at least we have Swahili and Arabic, and we may be checking French and German as well. Then, yeah, I think that is it for now. Francesca, do you want to make any announcement on the VODAN Africa board, which met last week, or the steering committee, which will meet on the 9th of February? Or are we going to send that around, perhaps?
Yes, we're going to send that information out when the time comes. But I wanted to find out from Putu if the access and control team is properly constituted now, and if they have their regular meetings, because the agreement was that since the CEDAR localization team meets on Monday, the access and control team also needs to fix their own weekly meetings, because they'll have to give reports of their projects weekly at our webinars on Tuesdays. Putu?
Putu?
Yes, Professor Francisca. So yeah, our team will be meet every Monday. Uh, but then maybe the type of the meeting is to discuss about the architecture, and then I will like talk to Eric Flickenstein to have a good direction about the answer of the architecture question, because right now sometimes we don't know the right direction to answer the question, because like yesterday discussion is about like we are still checking, for example, like CEDAR CEDAR security. So we are still checking the architecture that which part of CEDAR or which part of FDP that can secure the data, and also we should check the requirement of FDP. I mean, like the perspective of the user of architecture that is important for the architecture. So just like yesterday's discussion, we know that right now the user that can query the architecture, that will be our highlight for the next meeting. So basically we will meet once a week and also discuss with Eric.
But I was just thinking, hello.
Yes, we can hear you, Abduli.
Okay. So I was thinking, Putu, like, I'm not sure what time is it. So you said Monday, and then there is the CEDAR meeting, 8:30, right? Monday. So what time? And then, because probably some of the VODAN African members will want to attend both the CEDAR meeting and the access control. So just saying we should consider the timing, or we change the day to Tuesday or something. Or no, Tuesday is for, yeah, just consider the timing. That's the point.
Yeah, thanks.
And that should be widely communicated, because except for CEDAR, it's interesting that you're discussing data regulation, and we have the NGDPR for Nigeria. There's something some of the team in Nigeria should participate in, at least one of the members. So I feel obliged to say you need to communicate very clearly so that one can schedule also ahead of time. Thank you.
So Putu, I think it is good that your meeting doesn't overlap, and that you communicate when the meeting takes place in all of the VODAN app groups, so that everybody who feels that they can contribute, that they can attend. All right?
Yeah, okay, Professor Miriam. So I created a group about data security and control, but for the next meeting, I will share the link to the VODAN group, so everyone can attend if they want to attend.
Yeah, and even that they can also indicate if they want to become a member of that group.
Yeah, okay.
You can, in fact, share that already. And then if people are contributing to that work, then they can become a member. Also now, Gitu and Samson, they might also want to join your group, in fact.
Yes, okay.
Then Rudewan is, I've discussed with Rudewan that he will be taking up the technical work on the indexing and the search functions. So he's in exams now, but he will be taking that up. He has a plan, so he'll be in 2 or 3 weeks, he will be presenting on that. And Eric Schultes, he sends his greetings. He says he was missing everyone, and he has just sent a note on the converting of the metadata in the CEDAR platform. So we will also be sharing that for your information once we have reviewed it. It has just been sent to us. So I think with that, all of the updates are done for this week. Very grateful for all of the updates. Was magnificent to have Getu and Samson back. And then we will continue next week with bringing back the different updates from the different groups, and we will look next week at the presentation of Samson and Getu on the bulk input in CEDAR. So with that, I'm handing over, Alia, to you to close. And thank you, everybody, from me.
Thank you very much, Miriam. Thank you very much, everyone who is in this meeting. I would like to close this meeting with this at this point, and great to have all you here. So see you next week. Again, thank you for joining. See you.
Bye, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.